All right, welcome everyone to our kickoff event, or our liftoff event, I should say. It says liftoff at the top.
It is a liftoff event. Yeah, this is drone racing after all, Joel.
It is, yes. Yes, liftoff. So we have, tonight, we're at the Academy of Holy Angels in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we have pilots from around the cities who have come. I'm watching Brian Sour Power back there giving them all a course tour. And they're basically just going to have a good time tonight doing some heads-up racing and kind of getting tuned up for what will be a fantastic fall. So here on the live stream tonight, we're not going to show too much drone racing action directly. We'll intersperse it throughout everything we're doing, but we're actually going to spend a lot of time going through the kind of the structure of the fall, because we have a whole bunch of new stuff that we need to go through. And there is a lot to talk about, and we thought what better way to do it than live in person at a drone race as it's going on. And also we're going to be piping in hopefully some people from around the country, showing us what they're flying at the moment. We have, I think, half dozen locations, maybe not all flying. We'll find out.
We're trying, yeah.
We're trying. So it's going to be an interesting night. We got a large cohort of pilots moving around here. I wish I could switch this over. I should plug in another camera. I think I have one. I'll work on that while we're working through things.
Just taking a picture of them as they go by, yeah. All the pilots have shown up. We were set to start at 6 o'clock. It's now 6:15. If you're watching out there, thank you for hanging with us. We are at Holy Angels. If you're from the Twin Cities, you know about Holy Angels, one of the very notable Catholic schools here in the Twin Cities. Big shout out to Mr. Hall for allowing us to come here and have this season kickoff here tonight at Holy Angels. They are one of our newer programs. They started last year during the pandemic, and they brought a lot of their robotics kids over into drone racing. And now that we can get back into schools, here we are. There's a big, beautiful double cafeteria that you guys can't see right now.
I'll work on it. I'm going to throw a camera up.
We've got an awesome courtyard behind us, but this double cafeteria, Sour Power has been designing a course, so they're all walking around right now figuring out where they're going to fly. We'll see it through the eyes of the drones here pretty soon. But yes, this is the first day. Oh, and I see the guys from YZETA just came. It's about to happen, everybody. There are pilots getting together for the first time in a long time, and we are going to race tonight and talk about all the new things, as Joel said, we have in store for the Flying Fall 21 season. We've done so many different things, Joel, because we've always had to contend with the pandemic and schools opening, schools closing. We had the Mall of America space, Ready, Tech, Go. We are no longer there. But we've taken the greatest hits of everything, and we're putting it all together in the Flying Fall 21, and we're taking it up a notch in a few different ways. So I will be asking Joel to explain all that tonight. Pretty soon we're going to have some pilots flying, racing. Many of these pilots don't have any experience with what we call heads-up racing. Heads-up racing, of course, is when we have up to 4 micro FPV racing quadcopters in the air at a time, otherwise known as tiny whoops. We can fly 4 of those at a time, and people often say, well, what do they ever run into each other? Yeah, they do. We call it mid-airs. It happens. We couldn't do a lot of that during the pandemic because kids just weren't getting together. But we're back now. People have been vaccinated. We're wearing our masks. We're being safe. And again, honored to be at Holy Angels today, the Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield, Minnesota, right on the edge of Minneapolis. Wow, this is a fun place to fly.
You can never see, like, Minneapolis is kind of like one of those just, it refers to a large chunk of Minnesota.
It is. I mean, the suburbs, they're legit. They are their own municipalities, but in general, we're in the Twin Cities. I grew up not far from here at Holy Angels. I had a lot of buddies that went here when I went to Southwest. We have some Southwest people here in the building as well. Mr. Pass over here, formerly a teacher at Southwest, now working at the district in Minneapolis.
Let's see if we can get a camera on our pilots.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's see what can we switch to them?
I got to add it here.
We also have some big announcements today, including where our state championship is going to be this fall, the Flying Fall. We just confirmed our location for the Minnesota State Championship, and we will have state championships, I'm going to say, at least in a half a dozen other states this fall. if not more. I'm just being conservative with that estimate. Okay,
There you go.
we're looking down the hall. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll put you over there. Yeah.
That is through to the other side of the cafeteria. We are in one corner of one cafeteria.
We'll see if we can pull all
Look
the way
at this.
down
The
there.
Washburn pilots are here. They're not far away. They're kind of public school neighbors to Holy Angels. As I mentioned, I think I saw a couple YZeta kids showing up. We've got at least one Kid Legend here today. Kid Legends, of course, are grade school pilots. In fact, I see a third grader just here to my right.
Hey, Vuk, come sit down.
I know he's going to be flying. Yeah, let's bring Jedi Wolf over here. Jedi Wolf, one of the most notable pilots in the YDSC. One of the founding members of the Kid Legends division. Why do we call you guys Kid Legends? Oh, we have a microphone for him.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Just give him his. Here, I'll give him my mic.
Can you put that on, Vuk?
I don't remember actually.
Because you guys are all going to be legends because you're starting at such a young age, and you are already a legend. All right. So, did you bring stuff to fly tonight? What age did you start flying actual drones?
About 6,
6. And how old are you now?
8.
8. So you've been flying a couple of years. You started at age 6. You fly in the simulator, but you've been flying the real thing almost from the beginning, right? Does the simulator help your real life flying?
I think so.
You think so? I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of people agree that it does. Well, it's great to see you. I like your whole outfit here. You look like a pilot to me. We're going to let you get back in with the pilots because did you learn the course? You're clear on the course? You think you can fly it? I know you can. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jedi Wolf from the Kid Legends division of the YDSC. You will see him flying on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Central. Wednesdays, 5 o'clock Central is when the Kid Legends are flying. Those kids from New York and New Jersey are ready to fly with you again. Are you ready for those guys? All right, we got Kid Legends all over the place. All right, why don't you hand your headset back to Joel here, and we will see you later. Jedi Wolf from Minneapolis. Man, the future is bright. Yeah, I'm looking down. Could I hand hold that camera? Oh, here's Brian. He's doing his thing again.
Oh, sorry, I just took that one off.
That's all right. Yeah, the YZeta kids are there. Full Throttle and August Ice are in from way out west in YZeta. Watch out, everybody. Now, I got to get a handle on these Washburn pilots. Got to make it convenient for the Washburn kids. They don't go too far out, but we were right down the road at Holy Angels, so they said, we're going to come down for this. They look pretty dominant to me. These are experienced pilots from Washburn. They've been flying longer than the Holy Angels pilots. They've been flying longer than the YZeta pilots. They got to watch out for Jedi Wolf, though. I don't know anybody that's been flying as long as Jedi Wolf in this room.
Well, should we get into some of our just preliminary type conversation pieces?
Yeah, I could just keep riffing on who's here, but why don't we look into what we got here? All right, so...
Oh, wait, I'm going to bounce back here. Hold on. There we go. All right. So
let's talk about what kind of equipment we need. We provide all this equipment. We make this easy to onboard for people that have never flown drones before. People wonder, well, where do I get the stuff? We always say, you get it from us. But what exactly can they get from us this season in the YDSC?
That's right. So we're going to go through a few things here that have changed year over year. Now, if you've been participating in the YDSC for the last couple of years, or even just last year, the gear that you purchased is still going to work. Nothing has been basically what we would call end of life. They are still competitive, still good stuff. But the reality is that some of the products that we have used in the past are now discontinued and no longer being made. And so we've been kind of had our hand forced a little bit on what we are offering new teams coming online. It does mean that we're stepping up, kind of one step up in terms of quality, but that also means that the price has gone up a little bit for people across the board. So to start, everyone will need their FPV headset. In the past, we've sold the Recon V3s by Fat Shark. We have had to level up to these Scouts. We have a limited supply at the current price point that we're selling them at. So if you are interested in getting in, sooner the better. We only have, I think, about 50 some odd left at the current price point, which is at $170. Otherwise, after that 50 you're gone, that price is going up to 200 or more. So there's currently a discount on the Fat Shark Scouts with us. So you'll want to take advantage of that if you are interested in getting in on that set. That goggle FPV set comes with DVRs, and that's what we need for a lot of the competition that we're doing. Actually, pretty much all the competition we're doing, you need that DVR functionality, and that is built right into the headset. So critical that you get that one. If you have the Recon V3s from years prior, those are just fine. Those also have DVR and work just great. So no need, don't feel like you need to upgrade to do that. The next thing is we're moving to the radio transmitters are moving all to the Radio Master line. Now, we did make this change last year, but we've had a couple different brands, everything from a company that shall not be named to Tyrannus to some other ones. Again, some models are discontinued, no longer at the right price points. And so we've moved all the way over to Radio Master's complete line. So the TX8, which is, I have one laying around. Let me see. That's kind of our entry level. Right now that sells for $70. We might drop the price a little bit. We have some room on that one to help. But that TX8 is the intro one. Has good durability, good gimbals. It should easily last you a season or two with flying both in the simulator and in real life. A lot of the pilots here today are using those TX8s. We'll see those as we go.
It's a cool shot.
The TX12 is the one step up. That sells for $105. We sell that with batteries. Normally it sells for $90. We include some batteries and bump the price up to $112 or $105. This is, in my opinion, probably the best bang for the buck right now. It gets you into a mid-size radio that'll control a whole bunch of different drones, easily upgradable gimbals, all the expansion ports, bays, tons of switches, all the things you need. I like the TX12 a lot. It's my personal favorite out of these radios. And then from there we go up to the TX16 class where we have the SE and the S. Those are 165, I think, and up to 200. If you're looking at doing some of the stuff that we're about to start doing in the classroom, the TX16, it might be good to have one of those on hand for your class. So.
I just heard that the captain of the Holy Angels team got himself a TX16S, I believe, tonight. So he's stepping up in the world, and we'll get to enjoy the benefits of that radio.
Yep. So then for all of our in real life racing, we just require basically a 65 millimeter micro quad, otherwise known as a tiny whoop. It's a ducted or prop guard little micro board. I don't know if Jason or somebody has one over there they can toss.
You throw me a whoop?
You got a whoop? Not a 75? Or not an 85? That's an 85.
No, we don't have one yet. We'll show one later.
He's working on it. You'll see him as we go.
Okay.
All of our indoor racing requires that 65 millimeter, and that is basically what we start with. Now, we start all of our new pilots, or what we call them rookies, with a brushed quad. It does not go as fast as the brushless quads, but they are more reliable, quite a bit more forgiving, and the quality control on all of the brushless drones right now is, I guess I would call it suspect, and it just costs more. So just not necessarily like on a part per part basis, but in terms of how often they break and just seem to die on you, and you end up buying more flight controllers overall. So we're working on that. We're hoping that we have a good one coming out that's going to fix that problem, but we would still start everyone on a brushed quad, and that's why we are basically pushing or suggesting the newbie drone Acroby BeeBrain Pro. Again, you can buy that directly from us, and pretty much everything you need you can get from us. We are a one-stop shop and a prescriptive offering for everything you need. So that's in terms of the gear that you need. And then we get into the two extra kind of adjacent things that we need to actually compete in real life this year. And some of the things are carryovers. Then we have one new set. So we have a micro track smash set, and we actually don't have one set up here today. I thought we were going to, but that is fully documented. But it is basically about $75 in PVC pipe, a mirror, some cardboard, and some tape. That's about it. Oh, and a pipe cutter. You'll need a PVC cutter as well. So all of that with the tools and all the things you would need is $75. If you have some pieces already, you can get away with cheaper. If you already have a PVC pipe cutter, save yourself $20, get it down to closer to 50, going from there. And so what that does is it lets us build basically what we call a universal time trial track that is self-contained in about a 10 by 20 square foot kind of perimeter. So you can put this up in your garage, you can put it in your bedroom, put it in the living room, kitchen, wherever you want to drop this set. And then the technology that we've built onto your iPhone or iPad will help us do all the timing and the upload of all of your runs. And from there, we have leaderboards going forward. And we'll talk about this a little bit closer as we go. So, but I think if you're an existing team, you probably already have this. If you're a new team, this is on your must-buy list for your either teams. And if you're an individual pilot, maybe you want to put a set together so you can practice at home as well.
If you have any questions about this, contact me, Marty, Joel. It's marty@youthdronesports.org. And I will send you the full instructions with the shopping list and all the instructions for how you cut everything up once you get the PVC pipe with your pipe cutters. All that stuff, easy to get from us, just ask.
Yep. And so then the new piece that we want to add this year is what we call an analog capture device. And I actually have one right here in my hands. So it looks like this. And then that should have an X on the end of that. It should stand for video receiver. So here's a couple examples. Right here above me, this is the device. This sells for about $10, so just $10 on Amazon, and there will provide links to that. We would like pretty much everyone to get one of these. Just one per team is fine, that's plenty. And then if you have a higher end set of pair of goggles from Fat Shark or some other ones, so like if you are running, you know, some HDOs or even the Attitude V6s or V5s or something that has a video out, all you need then is this cable, and I'll put a link. It's a very specific cable on Amazon. It's also about $8, I think. And this one you just plug straight in from your goggles, straight into this guy, and then we can capture it into the computer. That unfortunately will not work. It doesn't have video out on it. So we're looking at that one. If you do not have one of those higher end sets of goggles, you know, as a new school, you might consider, instead of spending, say, $170 on a set of Scouts, you might consider spending the $325 for a pair of Attitudes. Those are really nice for kids who have glasses as well, like myself. You can put diopters in there. So it might be worth investing in one set of Attitudes, and then all you need is to use that pair with this. When you see the FPVA feeds up tonight, this is what I'm using. I'm just plugging it into my headset, into this adapter, and you're going to see it on the screen capturing everything.
Is there a receiver option to the goggles? There
is a receiver option. If you don't want to upgrade to Attitudes, you can buy what's over here on my, you know, whatever you left, right, whatever it is, that little device, that screen. That's about $110 on Amazon. It is back ordered at the moment, so I'm optimistic that they'll get some in. I'm going to try and find a better supply for those, but that specific one is the Hawkeye Little Pilot V4, and that has a video out that will plug straight into this. And so that combination, that's an extra $110, unfortunately. I am looking for a cheaper solution, but that's really about what I've found so far.
And all of this is in the interest of putting FPV video up on a screen.
That's right. Yep.
So we have to somehow take this analog video signal that the pilots are receiving into their goggles, which is basically just a analog TV set, an old rabbit ear TV set strapped to their face. But we want to put that on TV screens, so when you are putting on your own races, and for some other reasons we'll tell you later, you can display that FPV video, which is what makes this such an attractive, engaging thing to watch. Well, we have to figure out how to do that. This is a really cool adapter that Joel is showing us, but we also have to figure out how to do the receiving. And so the receiving is where we either do it through the goggles or through this little monitor that's back ordered.
Yeah, so let's see if I can pop that up here. So I have that plugged into my goggles now. So we have somebody on E6 and they're about to switch over to E2, it looks like. So that is using just this little $10 adapter. And there it goes, it fuzzes out on me there. So right as I get a good signal, I'll see.
Got a lot of kids over there figuring out what channel to be on.
I'll switch over to E2 here and we can watch along. Okay, there we go. So there's an E2 pilot who's getting all set up.
Way to get some drones in the air here.
Yeah.
All right, so that is an example of what the FPV video looks like. It's analog video. I ask people all the time, why do you think we use analog video and not digital? Why aren't we sending video to people's phones? There's still not a good enough lack of delay, right? It is too delayed to send video digitally right now from these little drones. The whole world, it seems, is working on that, but for now, the gold standard is the analog video, instant video feed, completely real time into your goggles. And you need that, of course, when you're flying FPV. You can't be delayed.
They're getting their channel frequencies set up. They should be racing here hopefully pretty soon.
All right. A lot of kids down there. You know, trying to figure out who's who. We're all wearing masks. It can be a little tricky sometimes to recognize people, but it's exciting to have a mix of different teams coming back together. They will be flying soon. What else do we have? What's our next big piece of information? Again, stick around because we will be announcing where our state championship will be. It's November 20th. We've talked about that before, but we haven't said where it's going to be. So stay tuned for that. But, oh yeah, this is a big one. A whole new way to participate in the YDSC. We used to have season passes. You had to go ahead and pay for a full season pass, but you may not have been able to participate in a lot of the season, or maybe something happened, or maybe you joined late in the season and the only option was to buy a full pass for a season that was halfway over. How are we solving that now?
Yeah, that's basically what the first line item there is, unused memberships. There was always this kind of gotcha moment for teams if they came in maybe a few weeks too late and they were like, well, we've missed a couple weeks. Why don't we wait till the next season? And we really are, this is really a year-round type activity. So we were trying to figure out what the right way to structure this is so that you can jump in at any time. And so what we've moved to is actually a token economy. So when you buy a membership right now, it's actually not a membership. You're just buying a tranche of tokens or a group, a bunch of tokens. And right now we are selling for $50. You can get 200 tokens. So if you do the math, it's about 25 cents. So think of a token like a quarter. But if you buy a full 100, you'll get 500, which is about a 25% spiff on top. So, encouraging you to maybe stock up a little bit early on. Or if you're just testing the waters, go ahead and just buy the $50 and see what you get. Now, what those tokens are going to do is it's going to let you basically pay your entry fees into all the different events throughout the season to get into all the events. So for the most part, 200 tokens, if you're in the sim, is going to get you into all of the sim events throughout the season. We've kind of structured the price points on everything to be buy the tokens for the $50. You get the equivalent of somebody who is using their membership previously to the full extent, and they would get to use all 200 tokens and then do it again next season. So you're not going to be running out of tokens halfway through if you're doing just sim events and you bought the sim membership level, which is 200 tokens. If you're doing in real life racing on top, we're going to go through all the different things that entails, your 500 tokens will get you through the entire season. Now, let's suppose you only participate 50% of the time, or you show up late in the season, and you start in early November and only just catch the tail end. Well, those tokens are never going to expire, and we're going to keep iterating on this idea of the token economy, and so that will take you into the spring season and then the summer season and beyond. So you can basically join anytime, get your tokens, and not worry that, I need to use it, because you're not going to lose the tokens. You can just use them next time when you find something that you want to participate in. So kind of changing that entire structure to make sure that the teams are not, maybe a little gun shy in terms of, subscribing and becoming members and joining the programs. We want everyone to be a part of this and make sure that they are getting the best bang for their buck. On top of that, because then when we have a token economy, we have the ability then to reward pilots for good behavior, showing up on time, participating in tests, those types of things. And so there's going to be ways for you to actually earn tokens, which is legitimate money, right? And so one of the quick ways is when you invite a friend and they come and they member up, guess what? You're going to get 20 tokens, which is the equivalent of, do the math, $5, right? So you're going to get $5 for bringing a friend into the system that then you can spend on registry or registration for future events. So a great way to keep, bringing people in, helping get yourself rewarded for helping us grow the program and add more pilots to the pool. There's also going to be some events and things that we're working on that we're still kind of prototyping. We have some rough edges we need to get cleaned up. And so rather than charge entry fees for those events, those will be free. In fact, if you come and participate, you will earn the tokens along the way. And one of those things is actually kind of structured to get you to purchase that analog adapter on Amazon for $10 and the cables necessary. We're trying to help offset that cost. So if you come and show up, you can earn about $20 in tokens over the course of the first month of testing that, and that should help kind of cover the cost. So it makes sense. You're kind of double dipping. You're going to get the gear, and you're going to get $20 credit into the system, into YDSC to help pay for future events. So trying to make that worth your time and worth your while along the way. So that's the power we can have with the token economy, and that's where we're moving. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things on our roadmap that we're not going to get into today. Just know that there's more reasons than just that, and we're really excited about those things and what it's going to do for our program long term. Yeah, so that's big announcement.
That's really big news. So if you are registering for the Flying Fall 21 season, you're going to see a $50 registration fee, and that's for 200 tokens.
Yep.
And you're going to see $100, and that's for 500 tokens. The $50 will cover you for the whole season in the sim. If you do the $100, 500 tokens, that's enough to do sim and in real life. And we're really excited to see how this works because of all the things Joel just said. It is a new era in how you participate in the YDSC. So if you're confused by it, hopefully you're seeing this. It makes sense. Just get your tokens and get ready to roll.
Yep, that's the name of the game. There's some other cool things that are going to be able to be done. You'll be able to give tokens to friends. So if somebody's running short, I'm like, oh, I gotcha, right? Like we will have the ability to share your tokens amongst everyone. There will sometimes be a team entry fee, and only the team captains will be able to, enter a team onto like a ladder or a leaderboard. And so, you may need to get the team to all, send their tokens over and contribute to that entry fee. So we'll provide that entire economy system to make that work. So
I like it.
Okay.
Some pilots are getting ready. They're sitting in. And if you're wondering why I'm on my phone, it's because August Ice from YZeta is about to fly. First one up today? August Ice. He's ready. He's never flown full heads up before. He started last year in the era of sim and microtrack smash only. So for him to be here at this season opener is really exciting. And what I'm doing on my phone is, as Joel mentioned earlier, we've got pilots all over the country that are coming together and celebrating this first day of the Flying Fall. We're going to try to call them up and feed them into the live stream if we can. And so I'm just coordinating all that right now. We'll see how far away we can get.
I'm just pointing out, Marty, to send them into Hangout Live. So if you're watching, go ahead and just hop into
I'll
Hangout
do
Live
that.
on the YDSC, and I'll be able to pull your video feeds in.
Consider
from
it
there,
done.
And the audio along with that. So.
All right. So what else do we have? Oh, we're going to watch August Ice fly here. Find the course. You're looking at one half of the cafeteria. Now he has to fly over that table. We've got a tiny whoop cube gate here. He has to come through. Now look, the drone is coming into our side of the cafeteria right now. You might have seen a glimpse of Joel and I.
I'm going to bump him up here, just let him fly here.
Now he got to go over.
My poor MacBook Pro just can't handle all this. I didn't bring my full streaming setup today, so we're dealing with just some retro tech. But, that's
all right.
That's all right.
It works. So he has to stay low there. Brian's trying to get him to stay low. Then he has to go around that chair. And then he's going to go to the columns, but he's got to pass the requirement. Yep. Brian is directing him right now. Look at that. There's Sour Power. He's going to go through that chair, not easy, under the table.
I see Ryan hustling over there.
Now, clearly, these are little drones that aren't to be afraid of because Sour Power is walking right in the path. Going around a full revolution around that column, slalom around that column, then it's back into the cube, and he's got to whip around. Oh! He can recover from that. He's just down but not out. You got to go through it once and then come back the other way. Now he's coming around again. There we were. Oh, I see. I'm still on the screen.
Yeah.
That's what you get with a 16:9 screen. You get a big square analog video feed and half of me. There I am.
Go analog there.
All right.
So I know that we're going to give these pilots who have shown up here at our liftoff a chance to do some heads-up racing. So we'll tune in when they get there. I think they're all still learning the course at the moment, tinkering with that.
What do we have next on our list of new things?
List of new things. All right, well, we need to cover all the existing things as well, and then the changes. So if you've been around with us, you know about Micro Track Smash. We've referenced it a few times so far. And this is that universal time trial system with your $75 kit of PVC, a mirror, a meter stick, and some cardboard. And then you use all that to build basically a timing gate, and then you take an iPad or an iPhone. I'm sorry, Android users, the timing system is iOS only. But hopefully you, your parents, or your friends, or your school or something has a device, one of these iOS devices. It doesn't have to be brand new. We go back 3-4 years and it'll still work. So it's something relatively new, but nothing that has to be like, brand spanking new. You'll download the YDSC app from the App Store, and then that whole system will be basically automated for capturing your times as you go around these UTT tracks and put you on the leaderboard. So this is very familiar to all the existing teams. This is what the foundation of our state and national championships were at the Mall of America this last summer. So the changes coming up for the fall season is we're going to have 4 rookie tracks, which if you're a new team into the YDSC, you'll probably want to start here. This is going to be like an oval and teach you some core maneuvers with turning left, turning right, some ladders up and down. Pretty simple tracks, although when you first start, they are not going to be simple. Probably want to start here. This is going to be like an oval and teach you some
Look,
I hear someone in Discord. Hold on a second.
Right, ladders. Yep,
I hear high voltage.
We got St. Cloud, Minnesota, and middle of North Carolina.
Yep, they're rolling
chiming in. All right, we'll meet them in a second.
Yeah, mute them so we can talk. So we're going to have 4 rookie tracks. And idea is those rookie tracks are already done. They're already defined and designed, and there will be leaderboards active starting tomorrow for those. And so you are welcome to start working on those 4 rookie tracks in any order you want, though we do suggest obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, go through there. But you can tear them down and rebuild all throughout the whole season, and I'll talk about the results in just a second. For veterans, we're going to be releasing 1 new track every 2 weeks. So there's going to be a defined new track tomorrow for the veterans, and they will be expected to grind, as we say, continue to fly that 1 track for about 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks we'll release the second one, and then the third one, and the fourth one. So we'll be focused on those 4. Now, you can still submit times for this first veteran track all the way up until the last day of the season. So if you join late in the season, let's say 2 weeks from the end, you can still put down times for all 4 veteran tracks, okay? Now, there are also some new features that are going to help kind of soften some of the rough edges of the timing systems. We're going to have some different visual cues, some more voiceovers, some improved feedback, all the different elements that are going to go into making the Micro Track Smash system even better. It was really awesome last spring seeing all that in action. It's only going to get better from here. So I'll talk about some of those new features in just a second, but...
Yeah, so basically every season, using this design, you can expect 4 Micro Track Smash courses. If you're a beginner, you do the rookie tracks. If you're a veteran, you do the veteran tracks. The times are due at the end of the season. Totally time shifted, totally easy to fit into any schedule. I know a lot of our pilots are really busy. Micro Track Smash, totally designed to do it when you can do it. You can even cram it into a single weekend, even a single day. So I don't want to hear anything about, I've got too many other things going on. You can always squeeze in at least Micro Track Smash and hopefully some of the sim events like we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Yep. So it is critical, though, if you're a new team and you're getting into the flying, you build the timing system and get all your PVC pieces cut as soon as possible. Everything that is in this Micro Track Smash kit is a critical piece of everything going forward and as we're about to discover. So get
Absolutely.
that stuff, get that shopping list, go build your gate, and build it a lot better than the Holy Angels built theirs. Theirs is falling apart.
Oh, no. So the start-finish gate key, that's where the mirrors go. Again, for all those instructions, email marty@youthdronesports.org. Just reach out to me, marty@youthdronesports.org. Of course, if you have questions, we're checking the comments on our live stream tonight, too.
Yep, keep an eye on them.
So ask questions while we're talking if anything's confusing. But that's Micro Track Smash, only getting bigger and better here in the Flying Fall 21.
Yep. And so as you do the micro track smash, each track will ask you to basically post, or it's going to look for like your fastest 5 consecutive laps, usually in like a 2-minute window. So each lap will be anywhere from like 5 seconds to 15 seconds, and I may be looking for the fastest 3 consecutive, fastest 5, which means you may complete like 20 laps, but I'm just looking for the fastest 3 that are kind of in the middle that give you the fastest or the fastest time. And so that information is what will be posted onto leaderboards. Oh, we have some action going on now. I see some racing. Let's see if we can head over to our FPV for a second here. Oh,
full throttle. It's August Ice's teammate from YZeta. YZeta up first. I would not have predicted that. We're home at Holy Angels. We have the whole Washburn crew come in here. I don't know exactly what has led to this, but the YZeta pilots were ready to go. They've been a self-starter team.
I'm going to switch over to E6, I think. Hold on.
They've made it happen without any help from anybody but themselves, basically. Their parents, of course, been a huge part of it, but it's great to see these guys back. Full throttle. August Ice, the 2 pilots from YZeta. I got to believe more kids from YZeta are going to want to follow their lead. Interesting story about August Ice. He actually injured himself in a skiing accident. That's why he took up drone racing. He was injured. He couldn't play something else. Now, who's that flying?
It says Spa 2007. I don't know who that is.
Who's Spa 2007? Who's in the air right now? That looks like full throttle. I gotta get a better look at these kids. I think that might be a Holy Angels kid, maybe? If you know who's flying, shout it out, everybody. Gotta get the on-screen display updated. 2 drones in the air. So we do have some people in Discord. Should we?
Yeah, let's see if any of them are in there. They should be hearing us, I think.
Gotta turn their video on.
Let's see. Just triple check this. Oh, it looks like someone's putting it on here.
Somebody's putting the video on. Ah, there he is.
Look at Cyrus over here. What's up? Okay,
let's feed him in. Coming to you live from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Look at this. We've got, oh my goodness. If you didn't get the news, the breaking news, legendary YDSC pilot, High Voltage from St. Louis Park, has transferred to St. Cloud State, where he joins freshman phenom from Melrose, Minnesota. I almost forgot. Melrose, Minnesota. Greatest pilot ever to come out of Melrose has been snared by the St. Cloud State as well. So St. Cloud State featuring 2 top pilots right now. Are you guys on campus somewhere flying?
Yes, we are.
Where did they let you fly on campus? Did anybody get worried about it, or did they just trust you?
They just trust us. I actually work at the rock wall here, and so I got access to like the foyer near the rock wall, so we've been flying here.
The climbing wall. That's awesome. Are there people climbing while you're flying?
Not today, unfortunately.
That'll be cool.
Closed on Monday.
Let's do that sometime. All right, so you guys are kicking off flying fall season by getting some practice in, and I know you thought you had to do microtrack smash tonight. We're not requiring that. So, but have you made a trip to Home Depot or somewhere yet for the PVC pipe?
That's a work in progress.
All right, well, you got time. The season is 7 weeks starting today, so, but don't delay, and we'll get you some designs. But now this is not too far away, Joel. This is just St. Cloud. What are you guys, like 75 minutes, 90 minutes away, approximately?
Like an hour from the Twin Cities.
You must drive fast. High voltage. He flies fast, he drives fast. But it's great to see you guys together. This is a newly formed team at St. Cloud State, the Huskies, right? Flying Huskies.
Huskies.
Cyrus from Melrose, how are the freshman classes treating you so far?
kind of character, Marty.
How are your classes treating you so far?
They're treating me well. It's a really good environment here at St. Cloud. Some of my classes are obviously easier than others, but yeah, classes are going well. Everybody here is treating me well, and now I have this amazing mentor of a pilot here next to me. So,
looks like a pretty good situation. And we won't say which classes are the easy ones. We don't want your professors to know which ones are the easy ones, right? So, well,
that's undisclosed information, correct?
You guys keep flying. You might want to play a little ping pong when you're taking a break from flying. I see some ping pong happening back there.
Hear it in the background.
Yeah, there's ping pong and pool, and also the climbing wall. And
nice.
football.
Wow, St. Cloud State. Nice campus. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being a part of our Flying Fall 21 season opener. This was awesome, all the way from St. Cloud State. Putting the rest of the college teams on notice. They got to worry. Now, I know some other college teams, we thought the U of M team might show up here tonight. I don't know. They backed out. I think they're worried. They heard you guys were flying up at St. Cloud. Watch out, though. We got all kinds of colleges coming in, including, if they're watching, the Air Force Academy. The Air Force Academy is forming a team all the way in Colorado Springs. I'm looking for reactions. Yeah, look at Cyrus's face. He's absorbing that information.
He's like, I don't know about this.
Yep. Air Force Academy's coming. So good luck to the St. Cloud State Huskies. You guys keep flying. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. All right.
Thank you.
So just not too far away, but we got another pilot that will join here in a second if he's listening. Hang on, from across the country. But what do we got next here as the pilots continue to fly?
Yeah, so let's talk about what the micro-track smash is going to lead into. So the way that we score it is, you do your laps and times, and then now it's going to rank you against all other pilots who have submitted times. And then in addition to that, we're going to take the team that you're a part of, and we're going to take the top 2 pilots from that team and score you. We'll add your times and laps together, and so your team is going to get a ranking. And we're going to do T1, T2, we'll take your top 4, we'll take your top 6, top 8, top 10, top 12. So we go all the way up to 12 pilots on a team to rank you. So if you go to the YDSC website, you can actually look at some older leaderboards, and you can go through that entire aggregation of those results. And you'll see that Providence Academy right now is the largest team size. They submitted 8 pilots times on one specific leaderboard last time. So we're going to carry that over, just like before. And then we're going to aggregate those results from the 4 tracks. So we're going to add all those numbers up, and that's actually going to be what is going to seed your position and your class at the state finals. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But the state finals is going to be the major event, and the way that you qualify for that is you have to put a time on a micro-track smash. You cannot get an invite to state unless you participate in the micro-track smash.
Very important. The state championship is November 20th, but you got to put the time in and the work in on micro-track smash to qualify.
Yep, and that is both for rookies and veterans, so those are different classes. And then within each of those, there's going to be a breakdown. We're going to take, basically your average position on each of the 4s. We're going to average your position. And then we'll number them from 1 to, let's say, 64. The top 16 will be a class, the next 16 will be a class, the next 16 will be a class, etc. So your average position will determine your class. That's how we're going to make sure that if you just participate in one MTS track, that we're putting you in the right class. But then your total time within your class is going to determine your position. So if you only do one micro-track smash and you place first, like a la Viper or something, you may end up in the 16th spot within your class because you only had one time on the board, and you're going to get penalized for the 3 that you missed. So it's also critical that you do all 4. So your average position determines your class, then your aggregate total of time determines your position within a class. I know that might be confusing. Just remember, fly all 4 and do your best, and I'll take care of the rest. That's basically what it comes down to.
Just trust it.
Yep.
And micro-track smash courses are small technical courses. So when we were telling the St. Cloud guys that Air Force Academy and the University of Minnesota, and we may even be talking to some people from the neighboring state of South Dakota here, they're all going to be able to fly Microtrack Smash and compare themselves to each other at the college level, at the high school level, etc. Oh, look at this. What a cool angle that is.
Who is that?
I think this is TB.
Did I miss the race, Marty?
Who's talking?
Leviticus.
Lev.
Lev's really loud. Let me turn
Lev,
it
it's
down.
not a sim race. It's real life. All right.
Oh. Well, I can't make it to Minnesota.
You can't make it to Minnesota. So you are hearing Leviticus 13 from Nevada City, California right now. He's showing up for opening day, but if you could just fly around your room, Lev, we could maybe talk about that. Do you have a working quad?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you fly? Meanwhile, we're going to go all the way across the other side of the country to North Carolina. Where in North Carolina exactly?
Central North Carolina, right about Carthage, about an hour south of Raleigh.
Okay, so in the central part of North Carolina, one of our newest pilots here in the YDSC. This is TB, pilot named TB. TB, what grade are you in, and how long have you been flying and racing FPV drones?
So I am in 11th grade right now, and I've been flying roughly three and a half years. I'll be on my third season this year in multi-GP racing.
Awesome. So you're in the multi-GP, which is the largest drone racing community in the world. You're a high school student, and you've also been organizing some of your classmates to fly drones. And now you've found the YDSC, which is a way for them to fly against pilots from all over the country. Tell us about what you've been doing on Mondays. You had a club meeting today, right?
Yep. We had a meeting today from 3:45 till 5 o'clock.
Okay. And what's the experience level of your pilots there in North Carolina?
So we have a pretty good mix of really high-level pilots to people who have only flown micros and are really good at micros, and people who have never even flown, an FPV microquad. They've only flown DJI Telos and other really, stabilized quads that you can basically have them fly themselves. It's a really wide mix of skills.
All right. Well, we talked before. We're going to help get you guys some more tiny whoops out there, some micros, to get them all flying FPV, right? We're going to have some sim stuff for everybody to do. We're going to talk simulator season in a little bit. So I'm really happy that we found you. Another pilot in your area, a good friend of yours, Big Speed, I think brought us together. Big Speed, we know how fast he is. How do you compare with Big Speed, by the way?
So on the global qualifier this year, he was at I believe 39-second run. I was at 32.7.
Oh my
no.
goodness.
Oh, great.
Depends
Oh
on
my
track. We compete at large events together.
Oh, boy. We're leveling up our pilot.
We are
pool.
leveling up our pilots. If anyone out there is watching, watch out for TB is what I got to say right now.
Yeah, that's impressive.
But the YDSC is for everybody. Beginners, he's got people that haven't even flown FPV before out there. So
Yep.
what a great mentor for them to have with you at their school, TB. And we are thrilled to have you here. It's about to get crowded at the top, more crowded than it has been. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's good.
And you sent us some video. We're going to try to roll video in from your club meeting today. Thank you for sending that to us. But I just really appreciate you jumping online with us for opening day, announcing North Carolina on the scene with authority, and with you and Big Speed and all the other pilots you're bringing up. I'm looking for some great things out of North Carolina this season. Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, it should be awesome.
Awesome. All right, man. Thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you soon. We'll see you soon. Microtrack Smash, all the things. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so let's head over.
Awesome.
We'll talk about now how Microtrack Smash is going to play out more than just those leaderboards. So this is going to be a new experiment for us. And when we built Microtrack Smash last spring, this was kind of an idea that we thought might be kind of fun to try. Well, we're going to try it. We're going to turn Microtrack Smash live. And instead of trying to get your fastest 3 consecutive laps, we're going to turn it into a heads-up race across the nation. So the concept being is rather than starting at your own pace and hitting that timing gate, it's going to give you a countdown, just like Joe Scully, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to cruise through that timing gate, And then what you're going to do with that analog device that you are purchasing off eBay for $10, and you're going to either plug it into your high-end set of goggles, or you're going to buy a receiver to plug it into that can then give that analog video into Discord directly. Very simple to set up. You're going to stream that to us up here in Minnesota, and we're going to bring in all the feeds from across the nation, and all of the timing gates across the nation are all going to be synchronized. They're all going to have that exact same countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, across, let's just say, 30 schools. And I'm going to get 30 FPV feeds shoved into my computer, and I'm going to be able to see all of the real-time stats as you guys go through those timing gates. I'm going to be able to tell which school in the nation is in first place at that exact moment, because again, all of this tech is feeding our database back on the cloud all the way into Minnesota. So this could possibly turn into the largest drone racing event on a weekly basis, basically. And so we're gonna start prototyping and tinkering with this. A week from Thursday is going to be the first event. It will not be live streamed. It's just going to be kind of a feel it out, see how it goes, see what people are missing. But you know what you need to get now. We'll provide those links. You need the analog converter with the receiver, and the track that you'll have to have built on MTS will be the current veteran track, which we're going to release tomorrow. So it'll be the end of the veteran track, first 2 weeks, or about a week and a half into it. You'll have to have that built and ready to fly. So show up at Thursday around 6:30, 6:45, get ready, and we're gonna have at 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 14th, I believe, will be the first Micro Track Smash Live event. By showing up, you are going to earn tokens. It's either gonna be 10 or 20 tokens, I haven't decided yet, but just by showing up and being ready to send an FPV feed to me over Discord, that will earn your tokens onto your accounts, and that applies for everyone on your team who is there participating. So just need to get that data in. Also make sure you have your iPad, your iPhone ready to go to start working on the timing system and start sending me data. So we're going to do that for 1 week. Depending on how that goes, we might do another test the following week. If it goes well and I'm done developing, then we'll just go straight into live streaming the following week. Otherwise it might be 2 weeks out. But that's kind of the premise. And you will be able to earn tokens for every event you show up on that Thursday night at 7 for the first 4 at least. If we get to the point to where we are now live streaming on like the 5th time, then we'll probably pull the token benefit back. If I'm still tinkering and stuff is still sucking, if it's still clearly a work in progress, then we will continue to give tokens out until it is a rock solid, stable situation. However, it will be free for the duration of this entire season. So participating in Micro Track Smash Live is a free event for anyone who has the gear, regardless of whether you're in other things or not. So show up, participate, and have fun with it. Let's feel it out and see what we can do to make it something really incredible. And then, we'll move it into more formal competition next season.
First of all, I love this system that we're now setting up where we can experiment with new things, yes, but we can also reward people for helping us experiment with tokens. This is part of this whole token system we were talking about. But what we're describing here is amazing. Like, there's no limit to how many pilots could be conceivably participating synchronously.
Right.
I mean, in real life, we can only do 4 at a time, right? Because in the same area, you can only get 4 video channels separated, these analog video channels. You can only get 4 separated cleanly. And so we do 4 at a time. With Micro Track Smash Live, we could have who knows how many. So this is super exciting. Pioneering new things in the world of drone racing. This guy figuring it all out. Netizen01, Joel right here. So props to you, my friend. And I'm super excited. A week from Thursday, we get to try this for the first time. So line up. If you're hearing this anywhere out there, just let us know on Discord, whatever, that you want in on this. You got to have the stuff, right?
Yep, got to have the stuff.
Got to have the stuff. Got to have the adapter. Got to have the goggles with the video out or another way to receive the channels. But, So we'll talk to you about all that, but super exciting.
So, and you may notice how in seasons past, Thursday night was our main sim event. And we didn't have any sort of live streamed real life event last season. All of it was just asynchronous Micro Track Smash. And so the reason that we're putting this on Thursday night, well, there's a lot of reasons why we're switching the calendar days, but we anticipate that Micro Track Smash Live is going to be our new premier live stream of the week. That's our hope. And so we also want to get back to congregating some teams together for IRL racing. I can't say that with a mask on. IRL racing, in real life racing. And so we've decided to put that on to Thursday nights to kind of make that kind of one of our tent poles or our foundation here. And so we're going to move our main event for Sim, which was on Thursday nights, we're going to move that to Wednesday. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around the Wednesday evenings, and we'll talk about that and all the things we're going to do to make that palatable for everyone. But just know that Thursday nights is now becoming Microtrack Smash Live, and Sim Night is getting moved to Wednesday for the most part.
Wednesday Whoops Day.
Wednesday Whoops Day, that's right. So on Wednesdays, this is going to be the start. Oh, I didn't put the time on here. This is Kid Legends. So if you're an elementary pilot, so 2nd through 5th grade, basically, this is your day of the week. This is not changing. This was what we had, I think, last season.
We always had Wednesdays, yeah.
Yep. Kid Legends starts at 5 o'clock Central on Wednesdays. Check-in is an hour to 40 minutes or 20 minutes ahead of time. So 4 to 4:40 would be your check-in time for the Elementary Pilots Division on Discord. And we play games like hide and seek, chase the gates. We do some racing, although we like to do stagger stars to create some really epic moments and make sure that all the pilots are, being pushed, and they know how to grow, and they know how to push themselves, and everyone is a really positive time. We have a great group of kids. You just met Jedi Wolf here earlier tonight, one of our great pilots, and we're excited to continue to see them continue racing and growing in the Kid Legends.
Kid Legends is in the simulator. You've got kids in elementary school playing video games like crazy. We all know it. This is a video game that teaches a real-world skill, and you actually have the real-world controller in your hand. There's no other game like this. So by expanding into the elementary grades, we are giving these kids a chance to learn a very valuable skill that's only going to be in more high demand while they're playing video games, essentially. I mean, the sim is very sophisticated, but it's like a video game, and you can learn a real thing. So keeping it fun, hide and seek, tag, all kinds of fun games for the young kids. And if you have any questions about that, reach out, Marty at youththronesports.org.
I should just put your email address on the screen. Just Marty.
I'll keep talking about it. But we got kids from New York, New Jersey. We had a kid graduate from Illinois out of Kid Legends. We got a whole, the largest school district in Minnesota is going to have a whole camp coming up starting next week with elementary kids. So there's going to be a whole influx of more Kid Legends kids. So Kid Legends is about to get crowded and cool. And that's at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, 5 to 6 p.m. Central on Wednesdays. It was cool before.
Yeah, I was saying, it was always cool.
It's going to get super cool.
Yeah. All right, so after Kid Legends is done for the night on Wednesdays, we move into, that goes from 5 to 6. Did I have the time right? Did I mess that up? Is that 7 or is that supposed to be 6 Central?
That's supposed to be 6 Central.
All right, so this side is wrong. That's my mistake. So the main event for the
sim. You got check-in
correct. I got check-in correct. I messed up the time. Yep. So check-in on Wednesdays for the main pilots is going to be 5 to 5:40. And that goes from 6 to 8, not 7 p.m. It is 6 to 8. It is a 2-hour event because we do a lot more pilots, and the points matter pretty much. Now, we are anticipating 6 main events for the main season leading into the 7th week of the finals. To get an invite to the finals, you have to participate in at least 3 events. All right? So if you come halfway through the season really late and you miss the ability to get 3 events before the finals, you're just going to miss out. The way that this works is just it's nature of the situation that we have to do it this way. Now, the good thing about the token system is that you're not really losing any, membership devaluation or anything like that. So those tokens carry over, and we just keep going in the next season. And there's going to be a lot of other things that I'm about to show you when it comes to the sim for you to participate in. So we do want everyone to strive to want to be a part of the Wednesdays Whoops Days. It's going to be pretty great. So if you want to qualify, if you have not already qualified to fly on Wednesdays, you need to contact Sour Power on Discord and set up a time to fly with him on one of the tracks so he can correctly classify you. We have 3 classes right now, and all those classes do fly together at the same time, but they compete only within their classes. So just because you lost to, let's say, a Class A pilot and you're a Class B, you're still only really competing against the Class B pilots. It'll make sense as we go, but basically you get points for placement. You'll get points for wins within your class. So even if you place, let's say, 8th overall, but you got first for your class, you're going to get additional points. And then you're going to get extra points for attendance. If you show up to everything, you'll get some bonus points at the end of the season. And then once we get to the finals, those who get qualified will then, compete for basically all the glory for coming away as the Sim champion of the Flying Fall 2021. So again, check in at 5 o'clock to 5:40, sometime in there. Get
Central
in there.
time.
Central time. Race starts at 6 p.m. Central, not 7. 6 p.m. Central. And one of the main changes this year with this is that you do not need to put up a leaderboard time ahead of the event. That has been one of the things that you've had to do. But because we have so many other things going on with asynchronous racing on Micro Track Smash and whatnot, and school is still chaos for a lot of kids. We understand that. We are removing that requirement to post a leaderboard time before the event. You can just show up at 5:39 technically and get ready to race, and you can race. Make sure you register ahead of time. We're going to be sticklers on registration. We need to know that you have paid your tokens to participate in the event and that we have allocated and set up the schedule for the event to include you. That is critical. So make sure you register and show up on time for check-in, and you'll be good to go.
There was a deadline last night for times, the qualifying times that Joel's talking about. Only those pilots who got their time in last night can race this coming Wednesday, 2 days from now, on the 6th. That's going to be the sim opener. But just get in touch with Sour Power. Like Joel said, get in touch with Sour on Discord. Line up a time so you can get out on the following Wednesday. You got to get 3 Wednesdays in to qualify for the big final. The final's going to be on Wednesday, November 17th. All right, so take a good look at this. Everything is correct except the start time in the upper corner. It's 6 p.m. Central.
Yep.
But get it with Sour if you haven't qualified already. If you have, nice job paying attention on Discord, but you still have a chance. And I'm looking at guys like TB and Big Speed and these guys. I don't know. I'm not sure if – I think maybe Big Speed did already. I got to check. But, wow, TB is about to come in a storm, right, and show some people how fast he is. It's all going to happen Wednesday whoops days in the simulator, in Velocidrone. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. So again, Thursday night is our main event for IRL racing on MTS. And then Wednesdays is now our new main event for the sim. Now, if you have a conflict on Wednesday nights, which we understand that there are a lot of pilots who are already busy and already have activities on Wednesday nights, do not worry. We have you covered. We have multiple events happening on other nights of the week in the sim. So we have Toothpick and 5-inch Tuesdays. So this is when we're going to fly the bigger quads. Toothpicks are like 2.5, 3-inch quads, propeller size, and then 5-inch propeller size quads in the simulator on Tuesdays. Now those do start at 7 o'clock. That is going to be a 1-hour event rather than 2.
Okay.
It is just a single 1-hour event. So the check-in time is adjusted at 6 to 6:40. There is not going to be a live stream. It is much more laid back, but the point structure will be isolated to either the Toothpicks or the 5-inch or the Wednesday nights. You'll have the same point structure accumulating, though they don't all add together. They're all specific to the series that you're racing in. And so that will continue throughout the season. You do not need to qualify for these. You just need to register ahead of time and get up and show up on check-in day. If you show up way late, your points for the season might be really low compared to somebody who's showing up every Toothpick event, but it is what it is. Do not worry, you can show up and fly. There's going to be some additional rewards, which I'm going to call props. This is another part of some of our economy stuff that we're working on. This is going to help you actually get, as you get more and more props, you'll actually be able to use those to redeem for discounts on physical product in the store at YDSC. Since you buy all the gear from us anyway, when you need a new set of batteries, redeem some of your props that you've earned along the way for maybe 10% off. So
Awesome.
there's going to be some incentive to earn those props, and more to come on that. I'm hoping to roll that out basically in about 2 weeks. You'll have the ability to start monitoring your props and how you earn them, and we'll be handing them out like candy, man. It's just going to be throwing it out everywhere.
So there are a lot of pilots who've been asking about flying 5-inch.
Yeah.
Toothpick was just added to Velocidrone. That's a kind of a medium-sized format between the micros and the 5-inch quads. This is our answer to that, so we hear you, pilots. And again, it's all in Velocidrone, though. So none of this, what we're talking about is in real life. This is in Velocidrone, Toothpick 5-inch Tuesdays in the simulator. But what a great chance to learn these larger formats, and a lot of pilots really wanted to do this, so we're excited.
Need to come back to this one really quick. Wednesday nights, we are combining the collegiate and the high school leagues. So the CDSC has traditionally flown on Friday nights by themselves, but they've typically liked to fly 5 inches, and since we're now covering that with 5-inch Tuesdays, we're going to move their micros, which we usually had a smaller turnout for the micros anyway.
Yep.
We're just going to move them and merge them into the Wednesday nights. So
With the high school kids and the middle school kids, by the way.
Yes.
It's middle school, high school, and college.
Yep.
All flying micros on Wednesday Whoops Day.
Yes, that's right. So if you're a college pilot and you want to fly 5-inch, Tuesdays is the new day for that. If you want to fly micros, Wednesday is the day for that. So we're mixing all the high school, middle school, and college pilots all together now on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And actually on Fun Fly Fridays as well. So this is, like I said, there are going to be plenty of opportunities to race in the sim. So on Friday, Sour Power is a sucker for, I think he's a masochist. He just likes to go all out. So he has a vision for Fun Fly Friday going from, I think, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, or however long pilots want to go. There's going to be multiple sessions. He's going to move between micros, 5-inch, whatever the pilots are wanting to do. Just bring your own quad in the sim, right? Bring your own quad, and he will, put you through the paces and coach you and mentor you and help you improve your flying. So come on Friday. No registration required. No tokens required. It's free. It's multiple sessions. Just get on Discord, hop in a channel on Friday afternoons, and come fly with Brian and the other great pilots here in the community and improve your skills. So that is just our allocated time frame for Fun Fly. It's time for the community to really get together, have a little bit of organization with Brian Sour Power running some things to make sure stuff gets done. But for the most part, hang out.
Yeah.
Fly.
If you've been around a little bit, you know what DOE was, daily office hours. I have a feeling this might be a little DOE-like, right?
Yeah.
Just throwing different courses. A lot of experimentation happened in those daily office hours that summer of 2020. That was the pandemic summer. We were all stuck at home. We figured out a lot of cool stuff to do in Velocidrone, and that was all Sour Power, and he's going to be running these Fun Fly Fridays. So as I've been telling people, it's not just going to be Wednesdays. We're going to have a lot of chances to fly. As Joel said, if you're not available Wednesday, it doesn't mean you can't fly with us in the sim. And in fact, there's even free opportunities. Fun Fly Fridays are free.
Yep.
You got 5-inch, you got Toothpick, you got all kinds of stuff happening.
And the one last opportunity that we have is basically after-school sims. We've been hearing from a lot of schools that you want to give your pilots the ability to fly on school computers right after the school day ends. And is there a way that we can potentially facilitate and organize an event for your team? And so we don't have a defined time for this because it's going to be different for every school. But if this is something you're interested in doing, go ahead and get in touch with us. And we are basically going to try and set up a special coaching session with Sour Power. He'll come in, he'll either organize and run the race for you. He will maybe coach you if you're looking more for just one-on-one or one-on 2 or 3 kind of thing to help your team improve in the sim and work on those things. This is the way to do it. So just get in touch, and we can facilitate that event and that experience for your school and your team. Right now on our calendars, Tuesdays are typically the best. It's just because we are, as you can see, our calendar is getting very full with a lot of things that are happening. So Tuesday, right after school, 3 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Central is ideally the best time when we anticipate Sour Power having.
Or it could be after school in another part of the country earlier or later, right? Depending on what time zone we're in. So we're able to be somewhat flexible with this, but again, reach out, ask us when you can do this, when you want to do this. And we're not ruling out actually having races between different schools, regional rivals, cross-country rivals, whatever. We could do some sim team stuff during this time as well. So this is the after-school time that you've been asking for, and we're happy to be able to give it to you.
Yep. So this is a great way to level up those skills. And if you need any help with the sim, tech support, that type of stuff, we can offer that as part of this as well. Getting your settings on your PCs to min-max your frames per second, all that fun stuff. So, okay, I think that is finally it. That is it for the sim
We
stuff.
might have somebody in Discord. Let's see if this gentleman
Looks like Jensen.
It is Jensen, yes.
Just waiting for him to go live with video.
And then we still have Leviticus in Nevada City, California, outside Sacramento.
Oh,
There he is. Look at Jensen.
There's my favorite man.
Jensen from Lake Area Technical College in Watertown, South Dakota. Is that Watertown, South Dakota sky that we see there, Jensen?
It's Brookings, South Dakota sky.
Oh,
so you're close.
Brookings. Okay, not too far away. I should have
No.
recognized it. All right, so tell us about what's happening at Lake Area Technical College. I know we shipped a whole lot of drone gear there
That was a lot.
by way of a car coming from the Minnesota State Fair back to South Dakota, if I remember correctly. Have you laid eyes on all that, and is your team rearing to go there at Lake Area?
I have, and it was like last week. I got everything programmed, bound up, ready to go for all the students that want to try drone racing. So we're looking, I think, at the 20th or 21st of this month, we're going to open it to the rest of the student body, and we've had a lot of interest from surveys that have been sent out to the student body. So we're hoping to, if we get 5-10 pilots this season, I'll be happy with the turnout, but I'm looking forward to it, and everybody at the school is pretty excited for it.
Well, thank you for leading the charge out there and making a case to the administration to make this happen. And I know that you were waiting to walk this very walk that you're doing right now. You waited until we cut to you so you could walk from A to B. So I'm glad you don't have to wait any longer. And, I don't know if you saw, we were on with St. Cloud State earlier. High Voltage has transferred to St. Cloud State. Cyrus is there at St. Cloud State. They wanted me to say that they did not mention Andy. Andy is also at St. Cloud State. That's a powerhouse, a super team over there.
That is a super team.
And Cyrus also mentioned that watching High Voltage fly in acro mode around that climbing wall is just like poetry in motion. So these are things that Cyrus didn't get to say on the stream. I want to see if Jensen has any response to any of this, because he's now got to deal with St. Cloud State's super team. We got the Air Force Academy coming in. What does Lake Area Technical College have to say about all that, Jensen?
I think we are going to have a pretty strong team this year. We'll be coming into the season late, but I think we're going to put them in for a little bit of a surprise this season. I'm looking forward to it.
I believe you. You are an inspiration and maybe still holder of the best martial move ever at Ready Tech Go during Nationals, when he pushed a sofa out of the way without even thinking twice to liberate a quad that had flown under it. You're one of our favorites, Jensen. Thanks for joining us today, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for making the team happen out there in South Dakota.
Thank you. Talk to you guys later.
Talk to you soon. All right, so we had Minnesota. We're in Minnesota. We had 90 minutes away in Minnesota. We had North Carolina. We heard a little bit from California, and now we have South Dakota. We're adding states left and right.
Adding states, yep.
We'll get back to California later, but let's talk about the real-life racing that, we did this in the very beginning of the YDSC, but only when we were there, only in Minneapolis, St. Paul, the surrounding area. Now that, pandemic happened, we jumped into the simulator. Suddenly we were national. Pilots from all over wanted to fly with us because we were doing great things in the sim. We came up with Microtrack Smash as this cool way to fly against pilots all over the place when you couldn't even be with one other pilot. You could do it one at a time, asynchronously. We're moving that into a cool live format, but how are we going to take the old-fashioned, everybody's favorite, heads-up racing, 4 quads at a time? How are we going to take that national when we're here based in Minneapolis?
Yep. Let's head over to here. Go to the next slide. All right. So previously, when we were doing racing back a couple years ago at this point, we were taking 4 teams at a time, and we would race them, and it was awesome. But it was a lot of moving pieces and fairly difficult to organize. It took pretty much a full-time job to kind of schedule out 20-some-odd teams over the course of a season with enough matches to be significant to get some good results. And that was even interrupted halfway through So with the pandemic, so we are moving back just to basically a one team versus one team. So team versus team concept. Although I don't think that we necessarily preclude from having more than that.
You could have 2 or
Yeah.
3 or 4 teams gather. Yeah.
We could, yeah, but I would have to come up with a new system for that, but we'll figure it out. We're going to start, though, with basically a new ladder system. This is yet another new piece of technology that is being developed on the YDSC app. What Brian's doing over here, he's making something.
He's putting. I told him to use the tunnel. He's
like,
finally ready.
Yeah.
That-
Brian, Yep.
Who won?
Brian's like, they all won.
4 different schools were just flying heads up. I saw it happen. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but that's awesome.
Yep.
The season is kicking off. All right, so back to that.
Yeah, so this new ladder system is going to be kind of geographically bound because you have to race in real life against someone else in the same vicinity, and so you will have to share physical space with them, very in like the traditional IRL team racing. So we will have a ladder that will be geographically bound. We're going to have a ladder for the Minnesota Twin Cities area. We'll probably have one for the Fargo, Moorhead, that area. We'll definitely have one for down in Texas, one in Florida, and wherever teams are starting to pop up in groups, we're going to create a ladder for them to compete in. And so the ways it will work is you actually will challenge a team that is above you on the ladder. So just think of it like rungs, okay? And your job is to climb the ladder. You climb it by defeating a team above you, and you will then jump ahead of them, and they will get nudged down or drop down a rung, basically. The way this is going to work is the 2 teams are going to come together. You're going to bring your micro track smash courses, both of them, so you'll have 2 sets, and we're going to use that to create one course on half of a basketball court that is essentially a high school-sized one. So all of the course materials or the course design will be within the 3-point line of a typical high school basketball court. That means the 3-point line is at the very top of the key. There's no space between the key and the 3-point line like at the collegiate or professional level. So it's about, I think, the dimensions that you have to have if you don't have a basketball court. If you just need a space, it's about 26 feet by like 43 feet or something, I forget.
Even if your school has one of those smaller courts, maybe you're at a middle school and you don't have the big court that the big high schools have, the 3-point line is still consistent. The free throw line is still the same distance. So if we're inside that arc of the 3-point line at the high school distance, you have the space needed for this.
Yep. So you will set up the court, but we'll provide a design to set up the course on that court, and you'll design it around like the elements. You'll put, a gate at this point on the free throw line, this one on the 3-point line, about halfway here. This one goes on the hash mark. This is the same concept that we used a couple years ago, and it worked out really great. And so we're going to kind of continue iterating on it. Now, one of the main questions is, well, how do you do the timing? How do you decide who won? Well, guess what? We've developed a really cool system with Micro Track Smash, and so we're just going to use that again. And what we're going to do is use 2 timing gates. And the way that they'll be placed on the course, they'll be in different places, and each team will get their own timing gate for determining how fast they're completing laps. You're still going to race next to each other, still heads-up racing, first to complete everything. But the timing gates will be positioned such that you will go through them at about the same time, or exactly the same time based upon how it is. So imagine if you come in through a final gate and there's going to be 2 timing gates. One team will have to go to the left, one team will go to the right, and then you'll group again at a gate beyond it, basically. So it's just a little split. And then that's
so cool.
And each gate will be tied to a particular team, and that's going to basically tell us who wins. And because we're a millisecond accuracy with this tech, that'll do what we need. We don't have to invest in additional gear or anything. You'll just have exactly what you need. And we'll provide the format, and we'll have the same format suggestions as before. So heads-up racing between your top pilots and your second-tier pilots and your third-tier pilots and your fourth-tier pilots all the way down. And we'll provide the instructions and the point formula for how to do all this. We'll provide the format for the relays as well, so swapping out batteries, and getting pilots up and running, completing minimum number of laps, cycling through your whole team, first to complete 50 laps, that kind of thing. And then we're also going to kind of tinker with some smash sprints, micro track smash sprints, which was the format that we did at state and nationals at Ready Tech Go at the Mall of America, where it's not about pure number of laps. It's about getting each of your teammates to do the best possible, like 3 consecutive, and then those are added up. And so you have to play kind of a decision game between letting your fastest pilot try and shave off some seconds or shave off laps versus letting your slowest pilot, improve dramatically. Like there's decision making around that.
Strategy.
Strategy. So we'll provide some formats for that. So then you'll be able to go to a school that you've challenged, or they'll come to you, depending upon the venue that is chosen, and you'll mutually decide which time frame or time window you're going to compete in and which course you're going to do that. The system will take care of all of that negotiation and decision process. You'll compete. You'll upload your DVR just like before for MTS. That's going to go into the system. We'll be able to review all of the races that are being done nationally and from all of the different racing. And
So you don't have to be in Minnesota for this. You could be 2 schools in California. Leviticus, if you're listening, call up that neighboring school. You could be doing this.
Yep. And the tech is there. It's ready to go on this front, and it's going to be awesome. And so that ladder will help you basically compete against other schools in your geographic region, and we can establish basically a pecking order. So that is going to be the IRL team racing format for this year. Probably for the first month, it'll be free as we kind of get things going. So I'm not even sure if we're actually going to have a token entry fee for this. This might just be free for right now for this season.
It's pretty elaborate what you're describing. We're going to have to, work it through. We're probably going to be showing up at some of these things around the Twin Cities area to help supervise some of it, just so we can see it in action, try to be hands-off if we can. But this is pretty much scalable to the whole country. I mean, if you look at these other sports, a basketball team season is a series of matches, games against other teams, right? And so this can happen when every school in the country has a drone team, right?
Yep.
And so we're beginning it here. We're going to handhold it a bit at the beginning, let you guys help us test it for free, but it's designed to go as far as it needs to go.
Yep, and the reason that we're doing a ladder system right now is because we know that every school doesn't have the desire to do this yet. Some are still very much on lockdown, which is perfectly fine. And so this is still kind of an opt-in. We expect not every team to want to do this. It'll be a subset. And so we're just kind of feeling it out and see how it goes and see where we can make improvements to try and make this basically the de facto format for in real life team racing in the future.
And it is recommended because, when we did the state tournament last spring, and it was all based on Microtrack Smash, we did that because that's all that the pilots had flown all year long. We had only, in terms of real life racing, I'm not talking sim, in terms of real life, they had only been able to fly Microtrack Smash because that's all we could really promise during last school year. Well, now it's really important that teams take this opportunity to fly against other teams in their area and practice this heads-up racing, because that is the ultimate racing, and that is what will be the format as we get into the championship events moving forward.
That's right. Yep. Okay, well, let's see. It's 7:35. We have no one on Discord checking in right now?
I guess Leviticus left.
California
See
boy
if I
left.
can get him to come back. He's always good for a few words. Are we ready to announce our venue in Minnesota? I could set it up to say that, let's see, can you come back? There was another 4-up race just as we were talking about heads-up racing. Oh, it sounds like he's back. Oh, no.
RT.
Who's RT?
Robert Thomas.
That could be Robert Thomas.
Richard, no. I don't know.
Yeah, Robert Thomas in Texas.
Robert Thomas in Texas. Let's add Texas to the list. Robert, so great to have you here. I know you were trying to get some students there in Georgetown, Texas together today, but it was a lot to get done in a short amount of time. What's going on with your team down in Georgetown, which is north of Austin, but there are some other teams in your area about to pop up as well?
Yeah, we are really excited to welcome the Round Rock School District onto the YDSC and hope to be convening with them this year. And we're practicing, and we've built our Microtrack Smash track, and We're in the sim every day. I've got students showing up before school, during lunch, and also after school. So we're doing our best to get skilled up, and we're really excited. I've got 18 kids in the class that we're hosting, and I've got about 26 in the after school club. So we're hoping to have a lot of competitive pilots ready to, give everybody else out there a real run for their money.
We're going to have to expand the tier number for the micro tracks.
I think we are. That's amazing. So Robert is with the high school in Georgetown, Texas, a huge makerspace that he runs there and created there. And he works with an amazing teacher, Walker Nicholas, who is the teacher teaching physics and all the subjects. And they're teaching our brand new drone robotics curriculum, which we worked on this summer with Robert and teachers who came in from all over. Richard Gonzalez from Miami was here in Minnesota. We were at Washburn in Mr. Gruel's room. Mr. Gruel's right down there, Robert, with his pilots. But you guys are testing our new curriculum. If you have any questions about our curriculum, please reach out, Marty at youthdronesports.org. This brings competitive drone sports into the school day, not just after school anymore. So you guys are doing that. You got all the gear. You got all the kids getting going. And then Round Rock. Can you describe the relationship between where you are in Georgetown and Round Rock? Is it a neighboring community in the Austin area?
We got to pile up in the tunnel. Looks like one got out.
Yeah, hello to Peter and Jason and everybody else there from the externship. But yeah, Round Rock is basically our next door neighbor. We have 2 high schools. Round Rock has 5. So they're kind of the big brother that's, one step closer to Austin. And so we're really excited to see, them pick up the baton and, help grow YDSC in Texas.
Well, I got to give a shout out to Troy Naquin from Quad Standard Labs, who introduced Robert to us, who also suggested that Round Rock talk to us. So Troy, if you're out there, I don't know if you're watching, we've got a quad completely stuck over here. The tunnel is just claiming victim after victim. It's the toddler tunnel, and there's a kink in it, so watch out. It's not even a straight fly-through. Robert, make sure you go to whatever replaced Toys R Us and get a toddler tunnel, one of those collapsible ones. It's indispensable when you're practicing.
Absolutely.
But I just, again, so excited to be in Texas. We're starting in the middle, starting in the Austin area, about to expand from there, and with Georgetown and Round Rock, not to mention San Antonio, where we've got Daylight FPV down there. I don't know. I don't care how many pilots you throw at us from Round Rock and Georgetown. You're going to have to watch out for Daylight in San Antonio. But who knows? Who knows what happens when we get more drones into more hands?
Crazy stuff happens.
This is awesome. Robert, thank you for joining us. Say hi to Walker, and we will get that Microtrack Smash course. Well, you guys have some beginner pilots, so you should probably start with the tracks 1 through 4. And then let's get your pilots appointment time with Sour Power. I don't know if you saw earlier on the live stream, but you're going to have to reach out to Sour Power on Discord. Maybe you could do this as a class or as in groups, but he's going to want to personally supervise those qual times so you guys can start getting in on Wednesdays as well. So please look into that.
Absolutely will do. And thanks for having me on here, and all the best to you guys. Sorry we weren't able to be down at the school and live stream from there, but really excited for this season. We'll look forward to working with Brian and Sour Power. And excited for the season. Thanks for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you, Robert. Great to hear your voice. All right, that was great. So Texas, North Carolina, South Dakota, California, Minnesota. That's pretty good. We put a lot of word out about getting on this live stream, and we hit a lot of states, just about all the corners. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Literally all 4 corners.
4 corners, yeah. A lot in between that weren't able to get on tonight, but yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the big reveal. There it is on the screen right there.
I wonder why I'm wearing this hat tonight. I mean, I wear this hat a lot anyway, but I wore it specially for tonight. November 20th is state championship is the state championship date for the Flying Fall 21 season. It is November 20th. Every state, we're talking Texas. Robert, if you're still there, we're talking North Carolina, we're talking California, South Dakota, all the states. We got Ohio coming in. We got Kansas coming in. Arizona. We haven't even talked about Arizona. Like just all the states. New York. All these states are going to be having their own state championships on November 20th. But here in Minnesota, where we have something to do with it, we always pull out all the stops. We always try to get the biggest, coolest venue we can. We are announcing tonight, live on this live stream, basically this infomercial for the YDSC that we've been doing with a race happening in the background. I promise you, there are all kinds of kids over here racing drones, fixing drones, because a lot of drone racing is fixing drones.
Yep.
Where will we be doing that here in Minnesota on November 20th? At Target Field, the Minnesota Twins baseball stadium. I don't know if you guys can hear me down there. Can you guys hear me down there? Mr. Gruhl? Yes?
He says thumbs up.
November 20th at Target Field, the Minnesota State Championship for the fall season at Bat and Barrel at Target Field. Get ready, everybody. And to qualify, you got to fly Microtrack Smash, all right? You got to get your Microtrack Smash times in, and you got to get your tokens, of course. But we are super excited. Shout out to Chris Isles and the Minnesota Twins for making this happen. Bat and Barrel, we've flown there before.
It was awesome. We flew there twice.
We flew there a couple times before a Twins game and after a Twins game, which is crazy. They've got a big rotating TC chandelier in there. It's up, if you've been to Target Field, it's up in the right field corner. It's a huge ceiling. If you go to youthdronesports.org and go to November 20th on the calendar, I've got some pictures of it. If you click on the event, I actually announced it ahead of time on the website for anyone that's going to the website. But go to the calendar on youthdronesports.org, click to see pictures. It's up in right field, gigantic ceiling. We actually got somebody got stuck up there, if I'm not mistaken. We had to get the lift out there.
You could lift to get the
We
drone
might
down.
not get so adventurous. We'll have to see. But Minnesota pilots, we style you in general. That's what the YDSC is for. We style the pilots. We will challenge the guys in Texas and everywhere else to find a really cool place to fly as well. Florida, I didn't mention Florida. We got all the pilots, so many schools in Miami as well. But November 20th here in Minnesota is at Target Field. You didn't put that on the board there.
It's at Minnesota Twins Stadium. It didn't
Target Field.
Target Field.
November 20th. These pilots are all hanging out at Holy Angels in the double cafeteria. They're like, why are we even here? It's because we're all headed to Target Field, you guys, to race on November 20th, all right? So get ready. We are super excited. Thank you, Minnesota Twins. Thank you, Target Field. Thank you all for being here tonight. We continue to fly. We got a sim station over there. We got Mr. Barrett from Farnsworth Middle School in St. Paul. That's an aerospace middle school in St. Paul. He's over there practicing on the sim. He's going to get good over there. The Washburn pilot's been flying. Who's all been flying? Who's flying right now, Sauer?
They're about to go up for another heat.
You turn on that camera and see.
Yeah, let's see if I can add it here.
Racing, but just heads up stuff. Got Intent to Be Human over here, the original mentor of the Southwest team. Guy who literally willed that externship for the curriculum project into existence this past summer.
Pop that over there.
Look at this. All right, we got drones coming. There they are. They're little.
They're little guys.
How about FPV? We got FPV?
Yeah, I can plug this guy back in.
We are looking from one cafeteria into the other.
Okay.
Some of these pilots, it's the first time they've flown heads up.
There you go.
There we
Grandpa
go.
Stanley. I think that's a Washburn pilot, isn't it?
Grandpa Stanley, I think so.
Grandpa Stanley is a Washburn pilot.
Mr. Gruhl, is Grandpa Stanley one of yours? There he is, okay.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Washburn Millers. They come with a big rolling suitcase. They show up with all their gear. I don't know if they realize, like, if the students realize how lucky they are to have Mr. Gruel as their teacher, helping them out like this. But look at Grandpa Stanley. Not his first rodeo.
Washburn was a surprise at state this year.
Interesting, actually, and this is still unfinished business, Joel. We've got Washburn and Wyzetta here,
Oh no! Don't ask me for that.
and they are still tied officially until we break the tie. Am I right?
Peter's like, no, we won.
Graham's over there, the star of the Washburn team.
Like just rock paper scissors it at this point. I don't even know where the DVR footage is going.
Crazy that Wyzetta and Washburn have reunited here at the start of the fall season after essentially tying it. We had to go back to the tape, but we still have not even got that done. So much to do in the YDSC. But I'm glad they have not given up on us.
All right, well, we are 10 minutes from 8 o'clock, so let's go over our one last slide here. One last announcement.
Bat and barrel, you guys. Target field.
All right, and then something that is not definitively on the calendar yet, but we just discussed it today. And building off of all the micro track smash tech and the IRL racing and MTS Live and stuff, I had an idea, and I was like, well, what if we took that and instead of everyone doing just a micro track smash, like the small ones, UTTs, on Thursdays, what if we put a whole bunch of ones in the basketball court and flying the big ones, and let's have a national one. Let's put the largest drone race in history in the Guinness Book of World Records in early December. Let's make this a synchronous national competition. Let's see if we can get 30 schools all flying the same drone course on a basketball court using their MicroTrack Smash kit and a design, streaming 30 feeds to Discord in team racing style with relays, endurance. There's a couple ideas that I've had where we have we've done reverse chase the ace in some of our sim racing, which is where everyone flies and then the last pilot drops off, and then we race again and the last pilot drops off. So just don't be last, and we just keep doing that and cutting it off until we end up with the top pilot. So we might do some sort of similar format for that, where all the teams are flying across the nation, the last place team flying from their own gym, but streaming their first-person view feed again with that same device, that $10 device, remember, and your receiver, or in your nice pair of headsets or whatever it is, streaming into Discord. We pull that in. I pull in all the data coming in from all 30 teams into a dashboard, and I present the status of all the teams, and we chop them off one at a time. Let's do it. Let's get the largest drone race in history on the books.
So ambitious, so awesome. And we've got pilots all over the country, as we've seen. We've been checking in all over the country tonight with other people helping us celebrate the start of the season. And this is what it's leading to, not just in Minnesota for our state championship at Target Field, all the other state championships on November 20th, but in early December, watch out for us breaking records and really bringing this MTS Live concept to a whole other level.
So we did a national competition at Mall of America last June, where we had people flying in from around the country. And we do have ambition to do that again. But we thought that trying to do that twice a year was probably asking too much at this point in time, especially with Delta resurgence and all the different COVID stuff. So we felt if we could find a way to do a national competition but distributed across the nation, these seemed like a good fit.
No travel required.
No travel required. There's no excuse for you to not compete at nationals this year.
Real life, no travel required.
Yep.
This is an amazing concept.
Yep. And so we will have an in real life, in-person event, hopefully again in June or May or whenever that ends up being in the spring. We'll figure that out when we get into 2022. But for nationals this fall, this is what we're kind of tentatively planning on. So here we go.
Super exciting. I mean, could you have imagined all the things we threw at you tonight? If you've been watching this live stream, we haven't checked the view counts. Have we got any questions?
I haven't seen anything on
No
Discord.
questions.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
okay.
know.
Here's the thing. Even if you didn't watch it live, you can watch it after the fact. So I will be sending this link out for everybody to watch. It's archived permanently on YouTube. We were on Twitch. I think we were on Facebook. I think Facebook came back.
I didn't even turn it on.
We didn't even bother. Okay, so YouTube and Twitch. It's here live. It's here for later. All the information. And, of course, just reach out. if you have follow-up questions, Marty at youthdronesports.org. I'm keeping track of everything he's got going on in his brain. I'm also keeping track of what Sour Power has. That's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
We are doing a lot. We are trying to grow this sport to be as big as robotics, if not bigger. All right, I said it. And we are starting here in Minnesota. We are now in about a dozen states. We talked to several of them tonight. We've got collegiate teams. We've got high school pilots. We've got middle school pilots. We even have elementary kids in the Kid Legends. Kid Legends staying where it was on Wednesdays. The rest of the sim racing moving to Wednesdays, but there's more than just that. You can go back through the live stream and see all the nights we're going to be doing sim. We're doing sim throughout the week. We're bringing Microtrack Smash back. We're adding live. We're going heads up again. We're enabling that nationwide. We got state championships on November 20th, and then the biggest drone race in history coming up at the end of this fall season. There is so much going on. How do you get into it? You got to go get your tokens. You got to go to fly.youthdronesports.org and get your tokens for the fall season, and they don't expire. So get them. You will use them. We're going to give you plenty of opportunities to use them.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch this again after this season's over and see how this all unfolded.
Yeah, see how far we actually got.
We're taking big swings, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and then if you need gear, you need that headset, the radio, you need your racer kit, you need whatever. We on the website now, we have opened up our order form to anyone and everyone. You do need to create an account on YDSC to get access to it, but you can now order any of the products that you might need to compete in the YDSC directly from us on the website. You do not need to go to newbiedrone.com or getfpv.com, anything. You can order it straight from us, and we will ship it to you, basically. So
we're passing the deals we get on to you guys. That's why you got to have an account. We're not just going to let anybody on the internet come see this stuff, but start an account with the YDSC, become one of our pilots, get your tokens, and then get all the gear you need. We were talking to TB out in North Carolina. You know, they didn't have a way to get all their pilots flying FPV. They had a lot of people flying line of sight. We are going to hook them up. We can hook you up as well. We sent a ton of stuff out to Watertown, South Dakota, Lake Area Technical College. We were talking to Jensen earlier. We've done it. We can do it for you. Fly.youthdronesports.org. The order form is there. You can get your tokens there. And just reach out to me at Marty at youthdronesports.org with any questions. How are we doing on time? We got a few more minutes.
I feel like I've been talking for 5 hours, but I think I have.
Well, I have returned.
Oh, is Leviticus there?
Yes.
Hello. I have also joined.
Oh my gosh, all the way from California and all the way from Eden Prairie. I know that voice anywhere. So Leviticus, are you in 8th grade this year?
Yep.
Okay, we have an 8th grader from Nevada City, California, in Nevada County, California, which is near Sacramento, capital city of Sacramento, California. And then, are you a senior this year, Raid?
Yes, I am.
A senior from Eden Prairie High School. Amazing. You know, Raid Optics, your athletic director, emailed me today. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I will put you in touch with your athletic director in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Eden Prairie was one of our most promising teams in that first big season that ended up in the sim. Raid Optics, you are the hope of keeping Eden Prairie going, the Eden Prairie Eagles. I was going to try to reach out to you, make sure you knew about tonight here, but I'm glad you're here on the live stream with us. And have you ever raced against Leviticus out there in California? Have you guys ever raced together? I think you guys have.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Raid, you were very busy last spring. I know you were working on your grades and stuff. Do you think you're going to be able to fly with us your senior year?
I don't think I will be able to, but I will be here as an advisor for Eden Prairie.
Awesome. All right, well, if you bring that team back, you will go down in history as one of the great revival projects ever. Got to get Eden Prairie back in the YDSC. Meanwhile, Leviticus, your teacher last year left your school. What are the prospects in Nevada City right now?
Well, I have good news. Today was our first drone meet.
Awesome.
There we go.
Opening day, Flying Fall 21. Tell us about that.
It was good. The problem was we only had 2 Beta 65 lights, from 3 years ago, and so that was a bit of a disaster. And then a battery caught on fire and blew up one of. So that was annoying, but it went good. All the kids learned a lot. None of them have really flown FPV before, so I'm teaching most of hand-on.
Love it.
But they're going pretty fast, and I got my PE teacher, Mr. Preston, to run it, and so we're doing pretty good. And even better, I got 5 companies to sponsor us.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Sorry, I looked for an order for
The
you guys.
8th grade
5,
legend.
Newbie Drones sending us stuff, and Foxer sending us stuff, and
Oh my
Fly
goodness.
5 and Pyro Drone both giving us 10 to 15% discount.
Can you share your notes with us on how you managed to wrangle all of those sponsors into your? That's awesome.
Yeah, we got.
I made a really, really good email, then looked up drone companies' names and just changed their name and emailed over 300 companies.
Love it, man.
That's hustling.
Leviticus 13, making it happen in Nevada City, California. How many kids are in the group that met today?
12.
12 kids in California. You are leading the way in the Golden State, and we couldn't be more excited. Raid, you might want to take some notes here. The 8th grader, fantastic. And as we were saying before, Leviticus, if you need any other gear, you know you can get it from us here at the YDSC, right? So sounds like you're getting a lot of stuff sent.
Yeah, which is great.
Based on all the emails going out, but you need anything else, you know you can get it from us.
Well, the problem right now is the school has zero budget. We have zero money to spend.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to supplement them with my own supplies, which has fell short today with 12 kids. And Newbie Drone will be selling something at some time. And so right now we're just trying to figure out what to do for next week so it's not a complete disaster.
You're proof that you can will this into existence.
Yeah.
By just making it happen, getting freebies if you have to. I mean, this is a kid who wants to fly drones, wants to race drones in the YDSC. He's been going door to door with flyers. I know, remember doing that last year?
Yep.
He was like personally recruiting everybody. We have come to the end of our hour, but I'm so glad to see Raid Optics from Eden Prairie bringing the team back in one of the biggest high schools here in the metro area in the Twin Cities. And then Leviticus, the 8th grader. That's a famous nickname from basketball. They used to call Lance Stevenson the 8th grader. Leviticus is now the 8th grader. It's a legendary moniker.
The 8th grader.
He is making this happen. Just an 8th grader in Nevada City. Joel, sky's the limit here. It's the Fly and Fall 21. We are doing a lot of stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. All the states that came in tonight: California, Texas, North Carolina, South Dakota, Minnesota, of course. Did I forget any? I know we had pilots in
North Carolina. Well, you guys said that.
We had pilots in New York, Florida, Arizona, Kansas, all almost joining us tonight. So we're all over the country. Thank you all for joining us. College pilots, high school pilots, middle school, elementary. Yes.
I want to add in one thing in kind of as a remark for what Leviticus has been doing. We talked about this last week, how we want to turn kind of a crowdfunding opportunity for students. So if you're interested in racing with us and you don't have a budget, you don't have money, you're poor, that's fine. I was poor I think we were all poor when we were in middle school, right? Nobody had that kind of money. If you're a team, if your school doesn't have a budget and you still want to find a way to do this, please go ahead and sign up on our website anyway. Let's get you onto a team organizationally in the system. And what we're going to be doing is letting you basically say, hey, come fund us. Here's how many pilots we have. Come buy our equipment. And we'll be putting that and getting that visible to some big corporations and companies across the United States and partnering with some other nonprofits and different things. So we might be able to find ways to get you funded and sponsored. It might not cost you anything to do this. This might turn out to be a free activity for you, but I do need you to at least get registered on our system so we can keep track of what's going on and try and help find a sponsor for your team.
Yeah, and this could be national sponsorship. We're also going to give you ways to seek sponsor dollars just regionally, locally. So really excited about that. If I didn't mention Texas a minute ago, got to mention Texas. I don't think I mentioned it. Maybe I did.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to Robert Thomas, Mr. Thomas, who joined us today. Some inspiration from conversations with him leading to what this is. So if you can't all do it the way Leviticus did it, sending 300 emails and changing the recipients, man, that kid's going places. We are going to make it easy for you to do that as well.
Yep.
That's what we're here for in the YDSC. Let's bring drone racing to everybody who wants to do it.
Oh, there's a big guy.
You want to fly FPV? You want to have that out-of-body experience that feels like you're a dragonfly? You can fly anywhere you want? You came to the right place. Thank you for watching tonight. I am Marty McFlyen. This is Netizen01. We got Sour Power over here running a fun fly race. All these kids that came here tonight to Holy Angels are racing around the double cafeteria. Thank you, Mr. Jason Hall, for hosting us tonight. Let's hear it for Holy Angels for hosting us tonight and all the kids who came. We will see you this season, and of course, it will culminate in Minnesota at Target Field in Baton Barrel for our Minnesota State Championship, November 20th, and then the biggest drone race ever coming up soon after that. This is the YDSC Flying Fall 21 season liftoff. Thanks for watching.
It's landed in December, so
yes, we're landed in December.
we will see you on Wednesday night for the first sim event.
Wednesday Whoops Day coming up Wednesday the 6th. See you Wednesday night, everybody. Kid Legends, and then the older kids. It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be fun. See you later.